One of the most frustrating questions to ask is, why does he have more kills when I'm clearly better? You've spent a good number of hours improving, you've got decent mechanics, you have ample knowledge of how the game works, yet somehow you always feel overshadowed by bad players who either outfrag you or have a higher rank. Don't worry, I know what that feels like. And by the end of this video, I'm going to change that perspective of yours so you can be more in control of your games. Now, if you're just starting out in Valorant or you still feel like your aim just isn't really cutting it, it can be pretty tough to feel like you've caught up to players who have literally spent thousands of hours in this game. Now, luckily, over at SkillCapped, we have worked with professionals to create 3 world-class aim courses that are designed to fast-track that progress and take you from a noob to an absolute pro in just about 3 months of playing. Now, at the end of the day, Valorant is an FPS game, and if you can't shoot straight, well, you can't really snowball. Nobody wants to bottom frag every single game, and the best part is, you really don't have to. We're confident any one of you watching this could achieve Immortal level aim, and in fact, we believe in that so much that we even offer a rank improvement guarantee, meaning if you don't climb while using our service, you really don't pay. So if you're tired of bottom fragging and you're really looking to dominate matches today, be sure to check out SkillCapped using the discount link in the description below. At some point in your Valorant gaming, I'm sure you found a streamer, a pro player, or even a friend you idolize or strongly resonate with. And that is a good thing. It's good for a beginner to have some sort of mentor to learn the ropes better. However, that doesn't mean you ought to become an exact carbon copy of who you admire in the game. Not every technique or strategy you see from them applies to you. The more you cling to these idols, the more you develop dependency rather than adaptability. Think about it. Say your rank is gold or plat, and you keep mimicking pro players like Premi, Aspas, or Alphayear. That should be good, right? After all, they have insane mechanics, great aim, and distinct playstyles. Unfortunately, the answer is no. Take a look at this short clip from Valorant coach Worthy TV.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When you're playing in Platinum, I think this is a really bad play. When you're playing in Immortal, I think this is a really good play. Because I feel like they're going to stay here. Exactly. See? Playing above your grade, my friend. Excellent play, and that was the problem. You played it too well.
This clip showed a perfect example of why thinking and playing like a pro doesn't always translate well in your rank up games. Now, if you're wondering, what does this have to do with bad players ranking up faster? Well, that's exactly the difference. They're playing for fun. They're playing for themselves. I mean, how often do you see yourself getting picked off by players from low elo just because they caught you off guard? If it happens one too many times, then you're clearly admitting you're idle too much. Shooting your threes like Stephen Curry doesn't make you Stephen Curry. You're your own player. You have your own rhythm. Now, does that mean you should start playing like these bad players? Well, absolutely not. However, what you can learn from them is to enjoy the game. Don't take it too seriously. If you're going to do something, commit to it. If you're going to peak, do it with purpose and confidence. If you're calling a strat, don't do it half-assed. Remember what Clove said.
Don't be spending too many brain cells figuring them out. Overthinking is just as bad as underthinking.
Which brings us to our next point. Don't make Valorant too complicated. It's a shooting game, not chess, not rocket science. Even if you don't particularly imitate your favorite streamer or pro player, you could be the type who bases their entire gameplay on what they see from TikTok or YouTube. These sources of knowledge should be supplementary. And if they don't crack the code for every scenario ranked matches give you, a player who beats expectations trumps those who play entirely by the blueprint. For example, you have good crosshair placement and you pre-fire angles thanks to practicing in the range, and you apply the tips you learn from video guides. That's cool and all, but then you end up losing your gunfights to low elo players because your aim is stuck at head level by default, even when they crouch against you in your duels. And now you're mad because you're thinking, why are they crouching? These players are so noob. Here begins your demise. Was it their fault you lost because they crouched? No. You start to shame these plays or practices because they beat your expectations, when in reality, it should be your job to react accordingly in every situation. That includes placing yourself in the shoes of the elo you're struggling to get out of. Another example is hiding behind sneaky corners and boxes that seem too obvious. I'm willing to bet you still die to these rat plays more than you'd like and end up mauling and saying, what are you even doing there? This negligence breeds complacency when you should be clearing them anyway, especially if you have no info. Instead, you should be asking yourself, why didn't I clear that corner? At this point, you know it's bare minimum. Anyways, the main point being, there's nothing wrong with learning some advanced tech and mechanics to improve your gameplay. In fact, I recommend it too. However, it shouldn't overthrow and dictate your personal rhythm, gameplay, and experience. A player who adapts and hones his ability to respond in situations beats those who believe they've got everything about the game down to a science. It's not always about being clinical. It's about being able to find diamonds whenever you're in the rough.
All right, though, guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium Valorant guides on the internet. We add new courses every month with over 1,000 guides curated into over 50 courses. No one can compare. We also have a direct line of communication with subscribers in our Discord so that you can get connected immediately to some of the best players in the game who will respond to every question you ask. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you're serious about improving your game. So that's going to be all for this one today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.